Okay. What do you got for me? For
Uh,
other stuff you're doing?
uh, I've just been playing Baldur's Gate 3 a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have much else to say. The game goes really up. Like the game is like this for me.
Yeah.
Like there are times when I absolutely love it, and there are times when it just annoys the fuck out of me, and I'm just like, God, this game's annoying, and I don't want to play it right now.
Yep.
Like,
Sure. Just with combats and things like that, or other things?
combat's not so much. Like, again, anything that requires like precise control with like puzzles and stuff is just like, I'm doing this like, there's this temple in Act 2 that's like it's a temple of Shar, and it's part of Shadowheart and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And there was this like stealth section that was just like obnoxious, and then
Oh yeah, stealth in this game is a thing that
garbage.
it's
Garbage. Like,
it's not well implemented for me whenever I use it. I get that you can like kind of navigate with their, you can see like where the NPCs you get their vision, but it's so slow. Your party members don't keep up well. I'm not a big stealth person in this game. Is what I'm trying to say. I find I have to break away from the party to do it.
Yeah, and then there was this other like puzzle section that was like, it was like an invisible path type thing.
Oh boy.
But like I mean, maybe I'm just stupid and I didn't find the hint, but like I didn't see where the hint was, and it was just like save, reload, trial and error of like, oh, I fell in the pit. Okay, reload. Oh, okay, there's the path. Oh, I fell in the pit again. Okay, reload. I was like, this is annoying and stupid. Like,
could be like you failed an investigation check, like it just happened.
Nope, there was no check.
Oh, there's no check.
Checks.
I don't know.
Just like an invisible. You had to get to the end of this. There was this big pit. There were like a few like actual visible platforms in the middle of it, and there was a thing at the end you had to get. And,
yep.
But most it was just like an invisible path basically, and it was just like find the invisible path, jump here and there, and it was like, it took me like between 5 and 10 reloads to actually get it without dying, and I was like, okay, whatever, fine. It's just like, yeah, that's just annoying. It's not fun. It's not fun for me to just reload like 6 times to figure it out. Like,
I'm sure there was a hint somewhere, but even so, it doesn't matter. If you couldn't find it, you couldn't find it, and that becomes frustrating. I don't know. There must have been. I just don't know. This game is very good at hiding things for you to try and find it.
I mean, yeah, and like when I find something hidden and I like solve a puzzle that is like kind of clever, I feel really good. But like when I have to like trial and error or something like that because I can't find the hint, or there is no, like, I found a book in a different room that like talked about the trial, but it was like really vague and didn't seem to give any hint. And this was after I had already done it, so it didn't matter. But like but it didn't seem to give any hint on like what the actual path you had to take was. Again, maybe I was just stupid and couldn't figure it out, but like it wasn't clicking with me, so I just trial and errored it and eventually got through it. But that was obnoxious.
Wondering if you could have like used spells or something, like maybe like a light spell or a spell might have
I mean, yeah, I guess I guess I could have done that. No, I tried a light spell, didn't do anything.
Okay.
And it's also Shadow or a Shar, so it's like supposed to be this like embrace the darkness, leap of faith type nonsense.
Yeah, but usually there would be a key. I don't know. I probably would have just thrown fireballs all over the place.
I guess like Shadowheart has Dimension Door, so it just Dimension Door to the
other
side.
I guess. Like, but you can only take one other person.
It doesn't matter. There was only something you needed to pick up on the other side, and then you can just warp back.
Oh, so. Yeah. I guess you could have Dimension Door. Oh well.
But I don't really want to use my 4th level. I didn't think of that, and I don't want to use my 4th level spell to do that.
Honestly, like, I probably would have just started throwing cantrips all over the place. Like throwing cantrips on the ground. Like, okay, at some point I'll hit something.
Maybe, yeah. I guess maybe I just wasn't clever enough.
I mean,
but
the point is like, but that kind of thing still shouldn't be needed. You should still have like maybe like some kind of visible, more readily visible hint. I don't mean like you have to like put it right in front of their face.
Yeah, okay, now that I think, I don't know. I guess I was just stupid. Like, I could have just, like, thrown crap at the ground until, like, you found the path, but...
Yeah, I'm finding with Baldur's Gate, you just have to do shenanigans sometimes. You just do shenanigans, and that can work for you. You can just do random shit, and you do these shenanigans, like you throw stuff. Like, you can just throw stuff. Like, I'll just pick up plates and stuff and just throw them. Like, that's kind of, I don't know, like, you don't think about that when you play D&D, right? You don't think, oh, I'm just going to throw a plate on it. But, like, I don't know, that doesn't seem very out of the D&D box to me.
No,
like,
it's not. I guess I'm treating it too much like a video game and not enough like D&D sometimes. Like,
treat it like D&D, you will find that you might think a little bit differently. Treat it like when we're playing D&D. Like, what would you do during our D&D? Oh, well, can I... You can't investigate or perceive unless you actually click on something. But, like...
Yeah,
okay,
I mean, but it's still just, like, a little bit different. Because, like, in D&D, like... You just say something and you're like, I want to do this. In the video game, you have to, like...
You do actions. Yeah.
It's not that simple. Like, you have to dig through menus sometimes to, like, stuff like that. And...
I don't know who was in your party, but I bet if you used a create water spell, that's, like, when you're thinking about it, create water, the water would have stopped on the paths.
That's true.
But then create water is a spell. You have to use a spell. It's not a cantrip. So, like, that's the drawback. I don't know. I don't know.
The game overall is really good. I like it, but there are just times when I just find the game just really obnoxious, and it makes me not want to play it.
I get that.
And then there are times when I'm playing and again I'm like, I solve a puzzle or I find something hidden or I'm dealing with like a interesting choice or something like that, and I'm like, yeah, this game's awesome and I love it. So
yeah,
the game is, again, the game is like this for
me.
I
know, I get
it. When I'm playing it, I'm like, man, this is amazing. This is like the best game I've ever played. And their game are like, man, there are days when I'm like, man, this game's fucking annoying and I don't want to play it right now. So
yeah, I get that. I'm not actually really a big puzzle person in games anyway. I find that unless it's like one of those push block puzzle kind of things where it's more interactive, I don't know. That walking path one, I'm not saying I would have done all those things the first time I saw it, but that one to me, it would have been nice if there was a more clear indication of like what you're supposed to expect. Like, you know, it's a leap of faith, right? But like, what do you mean? Like, can you give me a little bit more than just leap of faith, you know, kind of idea with Char? Like, could you at least like give me something a little bit different in that besides just leap of faith? Because then my next resort, like, I don't want to throw plates on the ground to figure it out. That kind of idea is a bit silly to me. So that's not really in the spirit of that. I don't know. This doesn't seem like there was a ton there, but maybe it just wasn't seen. Okay. What else? You have Star Ocean Second Story R demo, which is a mouthful.
Yeah, I mean, this was a game that was in the Direct as well, but it's a remake of the second Star Ocean game. I mean, we talked about Star Ocean 6. They released a demo for it. It's like it's an updated version of the game with like pretty cool pixel art. It's not quite like the HD 2D, but it's kind of like that. Yeah, it's just demo. I only played like an hour of it. I think you get like 3 hours.
Okay.
It's the early part of the game. I don't have a lot to say about it. It seems like, you know, seems pretty cool. I might pick it up. It's like, I think it's like $50, which from that seems a little expensive to me, but
okay. I mean, did they like, it's a remake, so did they obviously did some work on like making it look nice?
Yeah, they updated the graphics and the combat, and like it's a full-on remake. It's not just like a port. It's not just like a port or anything like that. So
yeah, 50's he's pretty high though for a remake. 50's pretty high. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it? Nothing else?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I picked I guess yesterday. I was kind of inspired by Unicorn Overlord, but there's one Vanillaware game that I haven't played, and it's called Odin Sphere. It was originally a PS2 game, and then they made a port/updated version of it on PS4.
Oh, that's good.
I actually checked the PlayStation Store, and it was like 75% off, so I got it for $15. I got it for $15 yesterday.
Wait,
Um,
that was 75% off was $15? So the
yeah, I
full
mean,
price was 60?
yeah, it was a 60. I mean, it came out like 5 or 6 years ago or something. It's been a while. Um, I
Why
mean,
is it $60?
I mean, the PlayStation Store does not reduce their base prices. Things
Oh,
go on sale a lot, but
what? I'm like $60? It's been 6 years. Wow. 75% off. I was like, oh, 75% off must have been like $5. $15. What?
I mean,
What?
15 bucks.
That's kind of PlayStation. Can you discount your old games? Like, come on. Okay. Sounds good.
So yeah, I played the beginning of that, but you know,
But
it's
just
a vanilla game. It's a 2D like side-scrolling action game, basically.
okay. Got it. All right. Well, for me, I mean, you saw me playing it yesterday, so I got to play a lot of the game that you mentioned some time ago, 30XX. It's a very fun game. It's got good music. It's very entertaining to play as a Megaman X person. So I've been enjoying that. That game, the original game 20XX had DLC, but the DLC was just adding characters. So I'm imagining it's going to do the same thing. But I think they need to add DLC for new bosses. I'm going to get the sense that those bosses are going to get real tiresome after a while. The only thing you can do that's really new, I'll say, there's a mode called Flavor, and it just adds a bunch of like beginning of run variations to it. It gives you like different power-ups or different reductions or like changes the rules. Other than that, like I will enjoy playing it for a billion years, but other people I can sense would get really bored really fast because it's the same bosses. There's no variation.
I mean,
it's the same bosses.
It's the kind of thing with roguelikes, right? Like, you know, there's only so much content, you know, you like vary the builds and the order that you fight them in.
Right.
I mean, Hades has the same problem, to be honest. Like there's four areas in Hades. You always play them in the same order and it's the same 4 bosses every time.
Yeah, and I
guess the first boss like can change a little bit, but other than that, it's the same 4 bosses every time.
The 30XX game should add like 4 more bosses. But it should keep like you only fight 8. So you do 8 levels, but maybe add like, I don't know, 4 more total. My biggest problem is these bosses are not super complex, the beginning ones. So regardless of my build, I just destroy them in most cases.
Yeah.
The bosses that are really hard, there's only like I only ever have a challenge with like one particular boss at the end game, and it's because the screen just gets filled with shit. That's the problem with the boss fight. Is just like there's just too much shit on the screen. So they're gonna add more characters. I know that, which I would like. I'd like one more character to play as. I'm finding really the Megaman X character is really the fun one. The other one that's Zero, I don't really like as much actually.
You don't like the Zero character?
No.
I thought about asking you about that yesterday. I was like, oh, I've only seen you playing the X character.
I played the Zero character and I don't find it as fun. The range is a problem. You can get power-ups to change your attack, but having a sword in a game where there's shit all over the screen, you have to get up close to a boss to do something, but the bosses do all this shit.
Yeah.
It's a problem. It's a real problem. So, and if you look at some of those leaderboards, it's everybody's playing the Mega Man character. They're like
X, yeah.
They're Ellie or something is the name. You're playing as Ellie or whatever. So the Zero character is not very good, is what I'm getting to. So yeah, but I think they need like 2 more levels at least. I need more freshness. I don't. That's kind of my problem with a roguelike like this is. I've played like Mega Man and Mega Man X2 and all that a billion times, so I get that like those bosses to me are kind of just comical at this point. It's just me going through the motions because I enjoy the game. But for a game like this, if they had two more levels and bosses, I think it would just like kick it up a notch. Even just two more.
Are the levels always exactly the
No.
same, or is there some variance?
There's variance, and as you know, the level itself will change depending on its position within the 8.
What order you're doing?
The boss fight also can potentially change. So there is some freshness there. Like, for example, I'm not going to go into detail, but there's an owl boss. If you face the owl like in the first 4 levels, it's comically easy. Easier than any boss in the game. If you fight it as the last level, it's the hardest boss to me because you have to chase it, and there's all this stuff going on. Well, I try and chase it, and it's very difficult to chase it compared to if you fight at the beginning. So the bosses do get more challenging if you fight them in a different order, and you can get different builds. I appreciate all that, so I continue to enjoy the game, but I think they need like 2 more bosses and 2 more levels. And then maybe 1 more playable character that isn't a short-range sword. Somebody else would be great. So I'm enjoying the game. I'll still keep playing it. I like doing the flavor things that I did yesterday that change up the rules. And then I did play Baldur's Gate yesterday for a couple hours, and I'll keep playing it because with Age of Wonders. I'm slowing that one down. I've gotten my fill of it. I tried the story mission in Age of Wonders. It's still a pain in the freaking ass. It's still a pain in the ass. The magic victory sucks. It just sucks.
The new magic
victory? It just sucks. I don't know why you would do it. You have to get all you have to get 4. You have to get 4.
Wonders.
You have to get 4. And you have to hold them. Imagine getting all 4 and holding them. They're all over the freaking map. You'd have to like tactically outpost and put teleporters all over the place.
Yeah. Seems like you basically have to like, you might as well just do like a conquest victory
exactly
at that point, because
that's exactly what I was thinking. That's literally what I was thinking the whole time. When I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I'd rather just do the province victory.
Yeah, it's easier to just like kill everybody else than capture all these things and hold them, right?
Yes,
like,
and the 5th story mission is really hard to kill everybody because the big boss guy of it, he's just got infinite forces. It's infinite. I don't care what anybody says. I hope somebody tells me I'm wrong and is like, you're an idiot, you're terrible at Age of Wonders. It's infinite. I once decimated a big army from this guy, tried to siege a city. Want to know what happened? As soon as I sieged it, he had
with another, like,
7 more full stacked armies.
Yeah.
7. I'm not kidding. 7 full stacks. I'm like, at that point, I just threw my hands and said, fuck this. I'm out. I'm done. I can't do it. This guy has infinite reinforcements. It never ends. He had like 1 city too. He had 1 city at that point. Your allies are slightly better. Your AI is slightly better. However, they don't siege cities. They'll siege a city and just stop. They'll just randomly stop. They're like, oh, well, I'm about to siege it. Nope. Bye.
The AI I've heard is still a work in progress. They haven't gotten it right.
The last story mission should not be this hard. But the problem is your AI, like one more example and then I'm done. There's one enemy that was in the corner. So I had to hoof my ass over there. Took like 10 turns. Which, by the way, that's a lot for a 150 turn game where you have to kill the big boss who has infinite reinforcements.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hoofed my ass down there. When I hoofed my ass down there, my allies finally came with me. The whole time they just left him down there. But as soon as I walked down there, my entire ally set followed me.
It just followed you.
And I'm like, and I swear to God, I was like this. What are you guys doing? Why are you throwing? I got this. Go kill the other guy.
Yeah.
They have enough units to take down the main guy. They do. They just don't. They just sit there. So I have to do all the work. There's also one more faction that's underground. Yeah. Good luck telling your allies to get their asses down there and do something. They don't. They don't. I had my allies kill one faction, and I actually almost had a party. They killed a faction without me having to do anything, and I almost partied. I was like, good God, thank you. Every other faction, you have to kill them. And they're not hard. The 2 little ones aren't hard. But the main guy, he's got infinite reinforcements. It's infinite. It's infinite. The way you win, you just have to build units all game. You're just building units all game.
Yep.
And you just have to smash his enough where he runs out. But he doesn't. He never runs out. It's infinite. Every time I kill 3 heroes, 3 more spawn out of his butthole, and he's got more. And I'm just like, how are you spawning level 10 heroes just out of nowhere? He just spawns level 10 heroes that are just stacked. And I just was like, I'm done. I can't beat this guy. I can't beat this guy pound for pound when my allies are sitting there, you know, scratching their asses doing nothing. I can't do it anymore. So that's my Age of Wonders experience. I just stopped playing that mission. I booted up a random skirmish.
Stick to skirmish.
I'll play that over time. Like, it'll be fun. I'll play that over time, though. I'm not focusing on it. I can't. Like, I'm just gonna boot up 30XX for an hour or two and do that. Like, Age of Wonders, just the final story mission. They definitely toned it down. It's technically easier, but this guy can't have infinite resources. It feels like he has infinite resources. He sends stacks of level 10 heroes at you, and it's like his army by itself has 2,000 power. What am I supposed to do? What do you want me to do, game? It's 2,000 power per army. I'm like over here thinking, hey, I've got like 1,400 in my army, and I'm kind of in the mid game. I'm feeling really good. He just throws 2,000 at you in one army. He's like, here's 3 stacks of that. Enjoy. You kill it. If you win that fight, he's got 7 more coming. I'm done. I threw my hands up and said, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I thought I was playing as well as I could have, throwing everything at him, and he just rebuilds so fast. I can't keep up. My allies just don't do anything. They may as well just be garbage cans. It's traffic cones. It's just traffic cones out there. They don't do anything unless I do something. So anyway, 30XX is great. Age of Wonders is slowing down. Baldur's Gate, I'm hoping to get back on the saddle for and mess around again. And I can't do it. I feel myself aging as I play Age of Wonders. That story mission, I feel like I'm getting older as I play it, because I'm just like, I can't. This is a train wreck. This story mission. I can see why people complain about it. Yep. This thing is painful, and the magic victory now being different. I don't know how you do it.
I mean, at least the AI doesn't win in like 50 turns.
No,
the old magic.
No, they don't. They don't win on turn 80, so that's good. But at the same time, I'm like, your spawn sucks. Like, they need to change the spawn. Your spawn is so bad. It's so bad that I can't believe they released it like that. And we're like, yeah, this will be fine. They'll be fine. They'll be fine just getting absolutely blasted every turn, because every free city attacks you and you only. You are around every enemy free city, and they're constantly sending shit at you. So, yeah, they need to change the spawn point too. Spawn point's a problem. You may as well just take an underground start. May as well just take that. Underground start, I think, would be your best option. And then you actually get to build up and not be attacked every 5 turns. The amount of notifications I see and get tired of, like, Citadel sending an army at you. Atticus is sending an army at you. Your mom is sending an army at you. And I was like, dude, what? Can you stop? I want to play. There's too many armies at my front door. They're constantly pillaging my stuff. So I'm trying to kill somebody else, and I got all the free cities coming after me. It's horrible. They need to change the spawn point. It's really bad. Your allies get such good spawns, and you get the shittiest spawn on the map.
Yep.
Anyway, that's it. That's it for my rant on Age of Wonders Story Mission 5. Maybe next year they'll fix it. Who knows? All right. Anything else? Otherwise, if you want, we can just turn things down a little bit here.
I don't have anything else. I don't have anything else to talk about.
Got it. All right. Well, we'll be back next week. I'm going to give a heads up now as we conclude. So on October 7th, I will be gone. I will not be here. I will be camping. And
it's in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, the heads up now. You get a little heads up. And then outside of that, that's my only... I think that's the only time I have so far that I'll be out. So October 7th, we won't be able to do for that day. outside of that, I think that's really it. Just a nice camp weekend. So, other than that, videos will go up this week, and yeah, we'll be back next week.
Sounds good.
Cool. Thanks everyone. We'll see you next week.